Sylvanas burned down Teldrassil, and now she was judged by Tyrande and is repenting for her sins by saving Night Elven souls. Now, while this does bring a slight bit of justice, all of us were shocked when Tyrande abandoned retribution all of a sudden and started talking about renewal like pretty much nothing happened. Well, maybe that is about to start making some sense, as we just datamined some encrypted Tyrande models as well as a tier of Elune sprouting a seed with more information about a gift from the Queen of Ardenweald. This means that Sylvanas might actually be resurrecting the Night Elves with a new world tree sprouting on Azeroth. So are we getting a new Teldrassil? Royal City Keys is giving away Sylvanas Heroic Edition to one of you guys that writes the best comment on what you still like about World of Warcraft as a game, despite the recent shortcomings. Additionally, they will also be giving away two €10 store balance cards to the second best comments. Check out the Royal City Keys with my link in the description or the QR code and use code Doran for an additional 10% discount. Tyrande's storyline has definitely been one of the biggest blunders of the entire Shadowlands expansion. Night Elves and herself are getting wrecked expansion after expansion, their entire capital burned, a world tree destroyed, and countless Night Elven lives lost. In the midst of this, she is abandoned by their thousands years protector Elune, and then she decides enough is enough. She acquires a super dangerous Night Warrior form to finally bring some justice to her people, and then jumps straight into a suicide mission into the Maw to get rid of Sylvanas once and for all, and she's just laser focused on her. She can't find her for a really long time. Then we get Night Warrior lore that talks about Night Warriors across the universe and how pretty much none of them were able to withstand this crazy Elune power, but they did manage to save entire planets from void invasions with this crazy power. So we think, damn, Sylvanas is really gonna get it when Tyrande just gets her hands on her. Well, as you know, as it happened in 9.1, they meet up in Ardenweald, have a really quick duel. Sylvanas does her crazy banshee escape thing as she always does, but this time Tyrande actually catches up and starts choking her. Now, I know it looks a bit ridiculous since, you know, she's undead and they don't really need air, plus to even have air in the Shadowlands, but I digress. She's about to get her, and then all of a sudden, Elune just abandons her and pretty much nothing happens. After that, we learn that Elune was pretty much aware of the burning of Teldrassil, and she kinda allowed it in order for souls to be sent to her estranged sister, the Winter Queen in Ardenweald, which makes Elune not exactly the benevolent being that we thought she was. It really seemed like she just used the Night Elves pretty much just as resources. What made this matter even worse is that all of a sudden, Tyrande does a complete 180, and suddenly she's talking about renewal, forgiveness, looking towards the future, while Sylvanas is still going crazy. Well, that was the official lore until now, and while I don't think this new information really makes it right, I can say it kinda lessens the blow to the lore and it makes at least a bit more sense out of it. As you have definitely already seen at this point, renewal kinda started with Sylvanas being tasked to save Night Elven souls from the Maw. Now, of course, we don't know how that works exactly in practical terms, but yeah, it is strongly indicated that she will actually return the Night Elven souls after one point, and this here makes it really interesting. Lore of the Shadowlands is as vague as it gets, but we know for a fact that souls don't really go into the Maw automatically, and generally Night Elves would go to Ardenweald if it was not for the jailer. Now, what is Sylvanas doing with the souls? Is she saving them from the Maw? Where is she exactly taking them? Like, when she saves them, where are they going? I'd say almost certainly Ardenweald, and this here is the really big point. We have just datamined a few features from 9.2.5, which will probably be relevant in the next WoW expansion as well. First is that there is yet another 9.2.5 encrypted Tyrande model, which indicates her either having some different role, possibly being present in yet another cinematic, or possibly having more of a role in renewal and leadership instead of just being a warrior and just being out for revenge. Second, and the biggest new datamined bit of information, is a new model of a tier of Elune that looks like a sprouting seed that will almost certainly play a big role in the future. Now, this wouldn't mean all that much until you look at a future in-game cinematic that is called the Queen's Gift. Either referring to Tyrande, but in my opinion, almost certainly referring to the Winter Queen. And yeah, these are just hints, but we can definitely extrapolate what is going on here, and maybe this what is going on with Elune, like is she really crazy and is Tiranda crazy, is starting to make a bit more sense. So, as you may already be aware by the lore, Ardenweald is like a part of Azeroth, or the Emerald Dream that is a part of Azeroth. It really isn't your regular afterlife where you serve some purpose and just spend an eternity there. Instead, Emerald Dream is like the summer, while Ardenweald is like the winter cycle, and the world trees are actually connected to the Emerald Dream, and therefore probably Ardenweald as well. In fact, Ardenweald is really special. It is as if it almost isn't the afterlife, but some other sort of a realm. As you have seen, important creatures like wild gods acquire anima, and then they can actually return to the material plane. We have seen this with Ysera, and we will almost certainly see this with Vol'jin as well. Now, this brings us to a new Teldrassil, or Night Elven city, being restored inside of a huge world tree that is about to sprout. Now, until recently, a crazy anima drought was going on in the Shadowlands, and Ardenweald was hit particularly hard. So hard that they had to sacrifice certain groves and certain important characters, and we know Elune, the long split away sister of the Winter Queen, attempted to alleviate this by sending Night Elven souls to Ardenweald, but instead, she just made matters worse as they were sent right into the maw, and it just made everything that much worse. Well, all of that is long gone at this point. The Jailer was defeated, the threat is no more, a new Arbiter was created, and the Shadowlands are brought back into balance, which means there is no more anima drought, and it will more than likely return to normal quite quickly. This means Ardenweald no longer has to sacrifice, the abundance will return, and now it is time for the Winter Queen to return the favor to her sister and to us that saved her and the Shadowlands. Sylvanas' sentence was turned to be useful, and she will more than likely shuffle Night Elven souls to Ardenweald, bringing back more anima and power. Now, with a very powerful seed that we can just data mine, it is quite likely that a new Teldrassil will be created on Azeroth that will get a brand new world tree, with Night Elven renewal being relevant in the next expansion. Now, as I mentioned, Ardenweald is not a regular afterlife, it is a platform to regenerate and send souls back to the material plane, and now they have the resources they need, so this is 100% possible. I mean, we pretty much saved the Winter Queen and her realm, and as she resurrected Ysera with a single leaf of her head, I think now with Ardenweald actually working as intended, she can no doubt recreate Teldrassil as well. This here is the important bit, and this might mean Sylvanas' sentence will actually make sense. Now, previously, I said it is cool that she's at least doing some damage so that the Night Elves don't suffer for all eternity within the maw, but maybe they will actually be revived akin to wild gods with the help of Ardenweald and these wild seeds. Seriously, this can 100% work. Night Elves were tied to the world tree, and with it restored, their lives could possibly be restored as well. Now, I joked in the previous video about Sylvanas creating a Night Elven undead army within the maw, but maybe she will actually make it happen, just not undead, as Ardenweald can actually properly revive beings. Now, if this happens, it means that we get a brand new Doronsmovies, a completely new zone to be added in the next expansion, or the one after, that will be Night Elven themed, and maybe Sylvanas will actually fully repent with this, not just saving the Night Elven souls, like their souls figuratively, but actually saving their lives. Of course, none of this is 100% confirmed, but all of the conditions for it to happen really are present. Winter Queen and Elune united, we will no doubt get new Elune lore and new Tiranda lore in the next expansion, and the Winter Queen definitely owes us a favor for saving the Shadowlands, as Teldrassil was really, from this perspective, only sacrificed in order to further the Jailer's goals. So now that he is gone, we could restore it along with the Shadowlands balance. Thank you for watching. Check out how the Lich King rebelled against the Jailer by clicking on the screen, and check out Doran's Academy for videos on real-world history. See you next time.